shocking incident once again shook the international public. After the big spotlight was on the appearance of Kim Taehyung at the prestigious Paradise Art Night, recording emerged showing his intense interaction with Justin Bieber. But what is even more surprising, it didn't stop there, because after the event ended, the two were reported to have revealed something truly unexpected. And in the midst of all the commotion, Jungkook, who has always been known to be close to Taehyung, gave a reaction that left ARMY around the world stunned. The question is, what is really happening behind this series of shocking moments, and why does everything feel so full of secrets? The issue of the meeting between Taehyung and Justin Bieber was initially considered a mere coincidence, but new facts that emerged after the event contradicted this assumption. Several video clips, photos, and fan reports stated that the two seemed to interact longer than what was captured by the public camera. In fact, there are claims that after leaving the event arena, Taehyung and Bieber conveyed something that made public discussion even hotter. Is this a signal of collaboration? Or is it actually a confession of a relationship more complex than just a celebrity greeting? The circulating recording shows expressions of both that cannot be considered ordinary. Taehyung looked serious, while Bieber appeared full of enthusiasm. Several eyewitnesses who claimed to be at the location mentioned a brief sentence from Bieber that sounded faint. "This is just the beginning." Was that sentence really directed at Taehyung? If so, then what is meant as the beginning of something? Is it a cross-continental music project? Or is it something more personal, intentionally not announced openly? While the public was still confused about the meaning of the interaction, Jungkook instead uploaded something that triggered new questions. He wrote a short sentence on his private social platform that read, "Some things are not as simple as they look." That sentence, though brief, immediately sparked thousands of speculations. Was Jungkook referring to Taehyung's interaction with Bieber? Did he know something unknown to the public? Or did that sentence have nothing to do at all with the commotion happening? But the public cannot simply ignore the closeness of these two moments. Taehyung meets Justin Bieber, then shortly after Jungkook uploads an ambiguous sentence. Such coincidence is too perfect to be left without interpretation. Thus, it is natural for ARMY to start connecting the two. Some feel that Jungkook is giving a code that there is something behind the scenes not yet revealed, while others believe that Jungkook's post instead indicates emotional tension that cannot be conveyed directly. The commotion escalated when several fan accounts spread theories that the interaction between Taehyung and Bieber was actually planned long before Paradise Art Night. They pointed to small clues, such as the similarity of fashion taste shown by the two at different events, to vague statements from several musicians mentioning a big collaboration between a K-pop artist and an international singer. Do all these clues lead to one conclusion? Or are they just coincidences then arranged to look convincing? Clearly, the public reaction cannot be contained. ARMY in various countries flooded social media with questions, expressions of surprise, and endless speculation. Their question was simple yet heavy. Will Taehyung truly step onto the international stage with Justin Bieber? If true, where's Jungkook's position in this dynamic? Is his brief reaction a form of support, anxiety, or even a warning? There are no definite answers, and this very uncertainty makes everything feel tense. The fact that there is no official clarification only enlarges the space for rumors to grow. The public is trapped in an ever-deepening puzzle. Was the meeting real, or just a visual fabrication created to trigger global attention? Why has no major media openly reported the details of the meeting? Is it because they do not want to be involved in controversy, or because the information is deliberately withheld for certain purposes? This phenomenon also reminds the public of how the modern entertainment industry works. Often, moments that seem natural are in fact the result of constructed narratives. Could it be that the interaction between Taehyung and Justin Bieber is just part of a communication strategy to prepare a big surprise? Or is this truly a coincidence, later exaggerated by social media? The public is forced to weigh for themselves, without certainty, without clarity. Even more surprising, several image clips show that after the event, Taehyung and Bieber were seen leaving the location at almost the same time. Does this mean they continued the conversation outside the public spotlight? If true, why was it done so secretly? Why is there no official documentation? Is it because they are preparing something not yet ready to be announced? Or because the meeting never really happened in the way the public perceives it? Jungkook again became the center of attention because of the emotional reaction of fans to his post. Some ARMY admitted crying, not out of disappointment, but because they felt an emotional tension difficult to explain. They interpreted Jungkook's brief sentence as an expression of feelings that could not be conveyed openly. But the question is, why did Jungkook choose that moment to speak? Why not remain silent? Did he feel the need to give a code to fans that something bigger was happening? Paradise Art Night, once only known as a prestigious art event, has now turned into a field of global speculation. The public focus is no longer on artworks or luxury guests, but on a brief interaction that has now grown into a major narrative. But is that narrative real, or are we all being played by incomplete pieces of information? Here the public is challenged to think critically. The information widely spread comes from sources that cannot be fully verified. Videos from TikTok, clip cuts on YouTube, photos on Twitter, all became fuel for discussion. But can the public admit that all this could be manipulated? Are we skeptical enough to question the truth behind every frame we see? That question must continue to be asked, because without skepticism, the public can easily fall into the flow of sensationalism. Are we really seeing reality, or are we only seeing a narrative deliberately built to create commotion? Did Taehyung and Justin Bieber truly reveal something unexpected after Paradise Art Night? Or is this just a social media construction then accepted as truth? What is certain is that Jungkook's reaction has added a new layer of mystery. With only one brief sentence, he managed to shake the emotions of millions of fans. But is that sentence really related to the meeting of Taehyung and Bieber, or is the public simply overinterpreting because they are carried away by the situation? Could it be that Jungkook deliberately wrote an ambiguous sentence to test how the public reacts? Up to this point, no answer can satisfy everyone. What exists are only questions hanging in the air. The public is forced to wait, speculate, and guess without certainty. Is this what certain parties actually want? A game that keeps the public talking without ever reaching a final answer? And finally, the most important question remains the same. Do we truly believe that all this is real, or do we just want to believe because the narrative is too interesting to miss? Did the public truly witness an authentic event when Taehyung and Justin Bieber were seen interacting after Paradise Art Night? Or is this all just a constructed narrative designed to create sensation? This question haunts every corner of discussion, as if challenging anyone who tries to understand the hidden meaning behind every movement, expression, and reaction captured on camera. How could a moment so brief shake global discourse and make millions of people debate the authenticity of an interaction? Shouldn't we pause to reflect? Is everything we see truly reality, or are there parties deliberately directing public attention to a certain narrative? ARMY's shock peaked when Jungkook's reaction began to be the spotlight. Many interpreted his expression as a form of deeper emotional involvement than just a spontaneous reaction. But is it fair to immediately draw such conclusions without re-examining the context behind it? Isn't every expression influenced by unseen factors? Industry pressure, media construction, or even marketing strategies deliberately designed to steer public perception? This is the question that should guide us not to swallow every piece of information whole. Social media became the main battlefield for spreading this issue. Video clips on TikTok, snippets from YouTube, to short posts on Twitter flooded every fan screen. But can clips just seconds long serve as the absolute foundation to build a major narrative involving the reputation of global artists? Or is it this very fragmentation of information that is exploited to build a dramatic illusion, trapping the public in a circle of endless interpretation? How can we be sure of truth amid the flood of content often cut, repeated, and polished to create a certain emotional effect? In situations like this, we face a dilemma that is not simple. On one side, there is an emotional urge to believe that the interaction between Taehyung and Justin Bieber carries deep meaning. On the other, there is a rational demand to question whether all this is merely a communication strategy played by the entertainment industry to maintain artist relevance and spark global conversation. Are we, as media consumers, merely pawns in a bigger game dominated by sensationalist narratives? Jungkook's reaction adds a new layer of complexity in this story. Many believe his attitude and gestures seem to confirm something unexpected, as if he knew more than what appeared on the surface. But can't human reactions simply arise from spontaneous surprise? Must every gaze or smile be analyzed obsessively? Isn't such overanalysis exactly what opens space for unverifiable conspiracy theories? Behind all these questions lies a reality that cannot be ignored. The circulating information currently comes from platforms whose credibility is often questionable. TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and other online media are not sterile spaces for manipulation. Their algorithms tend to prioritize content that is controversial, emotional, or engagement-driven, pushing factual truth aside. Does the public realize they are being directed by algorithmic machines prioritizing views and interactions over accuracy? Therefore, every individual needs to sharpen skepticism. Not every viral video reflects truth. Not every article written persuasively presents full facts. And not every narrative built by fan communities is born from objective observation. Are we ready to accept the reality that most of this narrative may just be construction? Are we brave enough to admit that sometimes we want dramatic stories more than simple truths? Paradise Art Night itself seems to have become a symbolic stage where two global figures, Taehyung and Justin Bieber, displayed togetherness immediately framed as a big surprise. But was that meeting truly spontaneous? Or was it designed to create media impact? If deliberate, who benefits most from this explosion of speculation? The artists, the companies, or media platforms gaining interaction spikes? Shouldn't we ask, who designed the narrative and who became its victim? Furthermore, are we aware how this dynamic shapes global perception of Jungkook? As someone whose reaction became a topic, he seems placed in a dilemma. Did he really reveal his personal emotions, or was that reaction staged to fit a certain scenario? If true, what impact does it have on Jungkook's relationship with ARMY, who always demand transparency? Do fans realize they might be directed to believe something that never actually happened? Here lies the urgency of reflection. Every reader, every fan, every viewer must dare to ask themselves, do they truly believe the truth of this event? Or are they trapped in a narrative deliberately packaged to cause commotion? Isn't it time we stop being passive consumers of information and begin positioning ourselves as critical interpreters, questioning the motives behind every content? Imagine if all this were just a hoax created for certain interests. What would be the impact on public trust in media, artists, and fan communities? Wouldn't we feel betrayed upon realizing our emotions were manipulated for commercial gain? Or would some of us not mind, as long as the narrative provides entertainment and emotional escape? These are the questions that must continue to echo in public discourse, so that there is no longer room for manipulation that silences logic. Thus, it is important for us to treat this issue not only as entertainment, but as a mirror of how media works shaping reality. Is the reality we consume truly real, or merely a crafted representation? Can we distinguish fact from illusion amid the fog of sensationalism? Or will we continue choosing to live in a more dramatic yet uncertain narrative? Finally, we return to the most fundamental question. Did Taehyung and Justin Bieber truly reveal something unexpected after Paradise Art Night? Or is all this just an exaggerated story? And does Jungkook's reaction really reflect genuine surprise? Or is it simply part of a larger narrative game? All these questions will never find definite answers without public courage to be skeptical, critical, and reflective. So once again, the question is, do you believe all this is real, or are you ready to accept the possibility that it is mere fabrication?